imagine Bergvall now. Imagine you're a player and you're like, finally my chance. And I want to play with Madison. I want to play with Son. I want to play with Kulu. I want to play with the ballers. But then all of a sudden, you're playing with Werners. You're playing with all the other French players. That's not the vision you had when you signed on the dotted line. When you signed on the dotted line to play for Tottenham Hotspurs, you would envision playing alongside Sonny, like feeding the ball, feeding Kulusevski in. Do you know what I mean? And he ain't got that. So
real quick, big up David Shear for the super chat. Says, "Come on, you Spurs, Ange in." I'm still Ange in, but again, I was about 10 minutes away from. What's that, Ash?
I said we all are.
Yeah. Well, hey, our faith and our hope took a punch, and you know what? I'm just glad I didn't have to go to bed like Stewie Griffin. We get to enjoy ourselves. We don't have to go to bed crying tonight. All right.
Very clever.
But I'll be honest. Big up David Shear. I saw him come in earlier and he says, I gotta go, but it sounds like something. But yes, we are further in the competition. If deservedly or not, I don't really give a fuck. We are there. Our little ping pong ball with Tottenham Hotspur on it is gonna be in the hat. So I'm good with that at the end of the day. But I'll tell you, I was this close to passing out. I took a bunch of punches and I almost fainted, but I made it to the end and we ended up winning, ironically. And it's just one of those like, wow, how quickly, I don't know, like Kate said earlier in the show, it just feels dirty. Like I need to take a shower because I was like, I guess I got to fucking go in on Ange for starting this team, for putting his fucking result, this like, I had all these narratives and different things I was going to say because majority of that game I felt like we were going to lose. And
you did lost.
And that's the chances they Coventry had, could have been.
Jacob, the chances they had, go on. You're going to say it. You're going to say it.
If it was a better team, part of my notes, part of my halftime notes of my long list of notes that I was showing, part of my halftime notes were if Coventry is a better team or had better finishers, they are up 2-0 at the very least, if not 4-0. And we didn't shoot at all. Not one shot in the first half. That is criminal. Like, I can defend Ange's tactics when we have 20 shots in 90 minutes. When we have 0 in 45, I got to look at somebody. I know the players are shit, and then you played the ones that we know are shit. Everybody and their mother knows Timo Werner offers nothing but running, and he couldn't beat Coventry players today with the running. He's done. He's done as a player. He's done as a footballer. I don't give a shit about his confidence. I don't give a shit about any of that. If I could, I would rip his contract up and send him back to Schnitzelland right now. Don't even let him go back to Tottenham Hotspur. No. I know he's a good guy. He said boost gumps, and we're supposed to love him. But what I saw today, I have never seen Eric Lamela play that shitty. I've never seen Lucas Moura play that shitty. Steven Bergwijn never played that shitty. It's just, what are we doing? And every time Ange plays him, I can't defend it. So if we would have lost today, got bounced out of the cup in the first round 2 years in a row with Fraser Forster, if we would have lost on pens and goal and Timo Werner starting, and the only reason Timo came off wasn't because, we should switch it up. It was because he got fucking hurt. And I'm like, who? That's Ange. That's on Ange. At halftime, everyone, me, my son, who is nonverbal, said, get Timo off the pitch now. And we don't get it. And I don't, he's definitely stubborn. And he is stubborn. Yes, I am stubborn too. But sometimes, when my wife is right about the same thing over and over and over, my stubbornness, eventually I concede and say, you know what? Clearly you knew something that I didn't because I was wrong. And my stubbornness, I continue to do.
Stubbornness
Don't know.
sometimes can be arrogance. That's all I'm going to say. And I think there is an element of arrogance in that. And if it was working, I'd respect it and say, you know what, he stuck to his philosophy. If it ended up working, but I just don't see him being given the time to see if it ends up working. Because I don't even think if you put Man City's team with the quality that they've got, I don't think that they can play and sustain Ange's tactics.
It's not. It's not even that. It's just for me. It's not that. It's like that for a few people. Their thoughts about like players being able to handle. I don't buy too much into that because before all the physio advancements in fucking physical science, players were running and playing fucking 3 games in a week and running around for 90 minutes in each of those.
The fitness levels. I mean, the fact that the space that gets left by the system because the high line is so high. And it really is just a case of putting a ball over the top. You know,
today looked really bad.
We were getting fucking peppered. Really I remember about 65, 70 minutes in, I'm thinking, our goalkeeper's been under a lot more stress than theirs. Granted, when we finally did pressure their keeper, he had 2 saves that I was like, wow. But outside of that, he was fucking chilling. He was just chilling, singing songs with the.
You know what? I'll go as far to say that was our worst performance of the season.
I think it's our worst performance ever.
I mean, that was horrible to watch. At one point, I was like, "Do I have to watch this? Is like punishment." I mean, what have I done to deserve this? Have I said something?
Why do they hate me? I mean, yeah,
that's what I felt like. What? Why me? You know what I'm saying? But I just, and the amount of you saw the groups, Jacob. You saw the groups. I was like, oh man, it was just a matter of time. It was
long.
But luckily for us, we managed to claw it back. But those goals don't really mask some of the problems that we're facing, because I think we saw the problems before, but now they're starting to rear their ugly head. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what bothers us and why we keep, even though we won, we can't seem to shake it off. Do you know what I mean? So,
but look, so Matchday Guru says ever, and this is where this is why I don't usually do instant match reactions, because I'm emotional and I'm a very emotional and passionate man. And I'm okay with that. I've accepted who I am as a human. He says, ever, you've been battered plenty. Yes, we have. But our performance has never looked like, even when we got fucked up in those, we look like shit. I'm thinking like, okay, my worst memory under Jose Mourinho was that West Ham game. We were up 3-0 and they came back and fucking won, or they drew. I don't remember, but it was a punch right in the dick. And I hated it. It's fucking West Ham. And they just, their celebrations, it was a punch right in the fucking peener. And there was a few for Conte, and there's like, I think of Pacos Ferreira, where we got peppered, and then there was Dinamo Zagreb, their manager was in fucking prison for murder, I think, and we couldn't beat them. He was on a fucking 2-way radio, FaceTiming from a prison cell, like, hey, switch it up to, fullback in for, and they beat our ass. A dude had a hat trick. Some fucker I'd never heard of got a hat trick, and then he got a big ass contract to another club after that. So who the fuck is this guy? And tacos, bro, I love tacos, but Tacos de Ferreira in Portugal, never heard of them until they beat our ass and then mocked us on social media. We were this close to Coventry doing some stupid ass TikTok video dunking on us. This is the worst performance I've ever seen, and we just happened to win. Okay, the worst 88 minutes I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And we've been bad. I've been a fan when we've been fucking bad. But it was even like, you know what? We fought. This was like, we were just fucking, you do it. Yeah. You do it. This guy just really rattled the foundations of my belief pillars that I've been propping Ange Postecoglou on. Because of his selection of Timo Werner, I said, okay, those clouds over there look a little dark, my friend, but I guess we'll drive right into it. You're the captain. And then we get there and it's fucking
I'm gonna say,
ooh, and the storm's coming and we're fucking ooh, we're about to sink. I'm singing Mayday, Mayday. I'm thinking about the title. I'm broken. Do I do the broken heart emoji or a sad crying emoji? These are my thoughts at the end of the game before we fucking scored. And Jed Spence, when he scored, it's just like I followed him into the storm and now I'm gonna drown with him, you know, and I gotta accept it. But now, hey, baby, we made it to Gilligan's Island. We don't have a boat anymore, but we made it to Gilligan's Island. We're alive. We didn't die. We made it. We just lost all our shit.
So deep this, Jacob. Sorry to cut you midstream.
Please do. I'm very emotional.
But what would you do if Ange does another one of these, pulls one of these antics again, where he just changes 7 players again? If he goes with that same team again, where you've got Timo Werner, and listen, I know Johnson took his goal very well, and I already explained context in terms of I think he's more of a wide forward than a touchline winger, but him wide for me doesn't work. I don't think he had a good game up until that goal. I thought he really did struggle at times to create for his teammates. I'm not dunking it on Johnson for this game, but I'm just saying if you take that goal away from him, it didn't look too good. But how would you feel if we went with Johnson, Werner, like supposing Werner was fit, Johnson, Werner against Solanke, and we had the same midfield, same back line, and that same goalkeeper? Would you be mad at Ange again, or would you? I don't know. How would you feel about it?
I think anytime I see Werner, I'm going to be mad. Let's just put that first out there. And secondly, big up Angelo Tyro, big supporter of the channel, says, sounds like Coventry won. They damn near did. We escaped by the hair on our chinny chin chin like a little pig with the wolf blowing on our fucking straw house, and we're hanging on to the straw. Please don't eat me, Wolfie. And he didn't. I've punched the wolf. We made it. We're alive. I'm just scared because the wolf's not dead. The red flags are the wolf. And the red flags were fucking blowing my house down, and not in a good way. Coventry made 7 changes. So to answer your question, Ash, I agree. I don't have a problem with the number of changes to our starting 11. That's not my issue. It's these players having no cohesion and ability to comprehend what he's trying to do. That's what it looked like. Now, I could be wrong. They maybe comprehend perfectly, just can't execute it. Maybe that's true. But if he does another switch, like Coventry made changes, United made 9 changes, something like that, and they scored 7 goals. Making the changes is not the problem for me. It's obviously the quality when we make those changes and also the right ones. For me, Mikey Moore not starting on the Premier League and then we play him in the Cup, that's a change I want to see. Lucas Bergvall in the starting 11 is a change I want to see. Archie Gray get minutes, although he looked good at times, iffy at times. Overall, passing grade for me from Archie Gray. But he did worry me at times. But that's a change that I like to see. Jed Spence in the 11 is a change I like to see. So the changes is not the problem for me. It's what I saw. It's what those. But Werner will forever be. And I'm sorry to anyone who's like, Werner's my brother. Don't be mean. Like, bro, call your brother, tell him to call into the show, and I would love to have a very civil conversation as to what happened to him. Did he go to RB Leipzig and someone beat him up and he got bullied and now he's like not himself anymore? Is he just not a good player? I don't know what's wrong with Timo Werner, but there's a clear problem. And Ange, if he continues to play him, I fear for Ange. I really, really do. And Rob Frank says, are we still on the Ange train? Hell yeah, we are. Did the train get derailed today? Hell no. Just delayed a little bit, but it's still moving, baby. You can't stop the locomotive as much as you want to. And I know you want to, but you can't. We're still tooting along, baby. Actually, to emphasize further how I feel about Ange Postecoglou, let me see if there's a clip that I haven't played. Here's how I feel about the Ange train. I hope that clears up any confusion for anyone who's wondering what side of the train tracks I'm on.
Yeah, I'm not quite like that, but I'm still Ange. But I was going to say, what do you think of that mix-up? Sorry to dunk. But yeah, what did you think of that mix-up between Dragutin and certain Frankenstein? Forget his name, the Frankenstein fella, that goalkeeper.
I'm convinced he thought the game was over. We won, and he wanted to piggyback right out of joy. I'm going to tell myself that anyway.
I think he sees what I see and thinks reducing is a bit fine and wanted a bit of reducing action. That's what I think.
Well, Draguskin's got broad shoulders, so I could see why he would think that would be a capable place to land. I'm going to imagine all of our center backs, whoever play with Fraser Forster going forward, I feel like this is going to be the way that they look back at him.